talk about picking up a dropped gun. Now, this isn't just a defensive training technique, the idea of you drop a gun and you need to retrieve it, but even on a range, if you have dropped a gun, a couple of things. First of all, one of the standard safety protocols is don't try to catch a gun falling through midair, and that's obviously because we don't want you to grab at it and hit that trigger and have the gun actually go off while you're trying to keep it from hitting the ground. Another important safety note is that we want to make sure that your drop safety or inertial safeties are all intact. Don't bypass them, don't disconnect them on your guns, because it is actually part of our safety briefing in our classes. If you have hot brass go down your shirt, if something crazy is going on and you need to get the gun out of your hand to get the brass out of your shirt or out from behind your glasses or whatever your problem may be, we actually want you to drop the gun. So having a gun with inertial safeties or drop safeties that are intact, and remembering not to try to catch a gun that you just fumble on a draw or gets tangled up, those are really important. But eventually you might get to the point where the gun's on the ground, or you might want to train and practice the idea that if a dropped gun is there, whether it's somebody else's dropped gun or yours, you might need it quickly. So let's talk about that. First thing I want to talk about is squatting or kneeling down to the gun. I don't want to see people bend at the waist like this and then just swing the gun up with an extended arm. You know, first of all, this can be really an off balance position. If you're not super flexible and you try to pick it up and then you stumble, well, that's going to affect your ability to get the gun into the fight, to defend yourself, all that. It also takes your eyes and your brain completely off of what's going on up here. So if I'm in a dynamic critical incident, I've got stuff going on, even if there's no immediate threat, I want to make sure that I'm looking to see what's going on. I might also, if I were to just do something completely just, brain numb, I drop a gun in a convenience store or something for whatever. I'm looking for some change in my pocket. Somehow I knock my gun out, bad holster, whatever your situation is. If this were to occur to you, you'd want to be watching to see what's going on, right? If the armed security guard sees the gun and sees you reaching for it, you may have a problem escalate very quickly if they think you're a threat, right? So keeping your eyes up as much as you can, and squatting or actually putting a knee down if you need to, and kneeling to get down closer to the gun but still be able to keep your eyes up, that's going to be important. The other thing I want you to think about is not picking the gun up with your hand like a claw, to where you might hit the trigger again, setting the gun off while it's down on the ground and not in a proper grip. If I need this gun, I need to make sure that it's going to be in a good grip so I can keep it in battery and it's going to be reliable. So I'm going to grab the gun with a flat hand, open fingers, then get into the grip that I want on the gun, and then pick the gun up with a bent elbow. This way I'm not swinging the gun up to my face, my eyes, my eye line. If I need to drive it out, I'm either going to come back into the ready position, maybe I'm going to stand up, or I'm going to come into the ready position, stay down on the ground, or maybe I'm going to drive the gun out into a shooting position, but I want to do that as an extension. I want to do that driving out, right? Whether it's while I'm standing up or staying down, I want to do that driving out and not have it be a swinging up motion. The other thing you remember is that the gun may not fall in a way that's convenient for you to pick up. So if I were to have the gun even like this, remember now that gun's facing me. A flat hand, orient the gun into a position where I can get my fingers underneath, get it into a good grip. I might want to stand the gun up, push down on the slide to get my good grip. And again, all of this happening when the gun comes off the ground with a bent elbow into my ready position, or driving out to shoot, either way. Picking up a dropped gun might be something you have to do in the real world. It's something you should practice, something you think about how to do safely. And again, always be prepared for the fact that you might drop a gun. You don't want to reach for it, snag for it, and don't deactivate those drop safeties.